It's back, chat. Tanya the Evil. Probably one of the best anime around, right? For those of you who haven't seen season 1, I'm not going to spoil anything, but pretty much you have a guy who was a ruthless businessman. Not necessarily ruthless, but he wasn't evil. He was just doing his job, and he was just doing it well at the cost of anyone who got hurt by it. Chat, sometimes you either hate your job or you love your job, and he just so happened to love it, right? And he was really good at it. He worked his way up that corporate ladder, and then he got killed by someone who fired him, who he fired. Yeah, that's how it works, chat. When you have nothing else to lose, then you hurt people who hurt you. Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen, so be careful. And then he got reincarnated as a little girl. Yep, that's how it works, chat. Apparently, he got reincarnated into a little girl in an entirely different universe that's still like on Earth, right? That's in the middle of a world war. Because I don't really like. This is one of the reasons why I don't really like listening to Japanese anime, because, well, I like dub, right? So I can understand what's going on, because you have to read and watch at the same time, and it's like, oh, that kind of sucks. So there's a lot of things that will slip past. With that being said, I'm not sure which side the main character's on. I don't know if he's evil. He definitely got some evil stuff. He's like a mix of evil and just trying to do his best at the same time. But what I want to point out is that we get to see a few interesting characters that pop up into this chat, and they're freaky. This one right here, who's apparently an admirer of the main character. You can see that by the text right at the bottom. I'm not gonna read that out for it's creep status, but it gets creepier. Check it out. So we see his eyes. If you got blue eyes, chat, that's nice, but don't misuse your beauty by being a creep like this. And it gets creepier. Yeah, he's got a photo of her, and he's touching the photo. It's wild. It is a wild one, but what I'm about to show you next is gonna be stranger. He touches the photo and puts it in his freaking mouth. He's a freak. He's a weirdo. All because he didn't use any seasoning. That's why. Chat, it doesn't matter what kind of meat you put in your mouth. Put some salt on that or something. He's just raw dogging it over there. Let's get it off the screen. So we see the antagonist. Well, I wouldn't really know if she's the antagonist, but she's definitely on the other side of the war. American, chat. We out here. I think I want to say that Tanya's faction is like Nazis or something like that. Am I wrong? I'm honestly not sure. All I know is that they're against the United States, I believe. I honestly don't know. There it is. There's that smile. There's only 3 smiles on this planet that I can really enjoy, chat. SpongeBob, he's got a good smile. Chucky, he's got a nice smile. And whoever the heck this is, Tanya. Chat, if you have a daughter and like she's 5 years old and she smiles like that, I'm sorry. You got a reincarnated man.
Average female VTuber
oh my
behind
goodness.
the camera.
Then we see, I think a general. Again, chat, this is one of the reasons why I prefer dub. I know a lot of people, they don't like dub, but I like dub so I can understand exactly what's going on, right? Completely, so I don't have to spend all my time reading. We also get to see she gets access to a larger army. That's going to be interesting, how she plays into that. I believe what ended up happening with this particular plot is that I think it happened last time. They gave her a bunch of underdogs. It didn't work out. So I don't know. I'm just really interested in seeing what she's going to do with this large army. Because right here down the middle, the Runs the Cool Kids Club. Oh, the K's. Yeah, the triple K's. Yeah. Right here, you can see where her main force is. Like, these are the people that's been with her since the last season, right? But this is the new people. The cannon fodder, some might say, chat, but they're all green behind the ears. And what that means to some of you who don't know is that they're cannon fodder, chat. It's simple. Just keep up. I might make this a screenshot, chat. A thumbnail. It's what makes Tanya the Evil so much better than so many other new anime out there, chat. It's just, even though we've seen isekais many times, chat, this isn't new. The formula has been there. However, we've not seen a main character who was reincarnated as a little girl and then do evil hood rat crap. I wouldn't call it hood rat, but evil stuff. And the whole thing is that, hey, she doesn't want to be forced to worship God, but all her powers that will help her win the war involved with her praying to God, who speaks to her. Chat, I can tell you one thing: if an angel or God speaks to you or speaks to me, I'm gonna be like, oh no, I'm flattered, but I know you got something for me to do, and if I run away from it, I end up in a well or something. It would really suck, chat. It'd be an inconvenience to me. An honor, sure, but then you ask, like, well, Candy, where God wants you to watch more anime? Oh yeah, I'm down for that. That'd be great. You think God is lonely without someone to watch anime with, chat? Anyway, Tanya. Oh, better question. You think God would love this anime? Because, I don't know, chat.
God forbid
I
a
don't know
girl
what God
have a
likes.
little fun in the 1940s.
Is this what takes place in the 1940s? Because wait, was a war? I'm stupid. I do not remember or anything about history. But was there a world war in 1940? So she's sitting there watching all of her new platoon members like just die back to back to back, and she was pretty calm, right, as you would be. But this is the coldest thing I've ever seen so far in this particular anime, is that she takes down.
WW2 was in 1939 to 1945, I believe.
WW2 was in 1939 to 1945. She takes down a plane with a combat knife. I love it. I love every moment of it. I hope they don't drop the ball with this, because they could get like a 2 or 3 more seasons out of it. I think. I mean, she's such a demon. She gets behind the pilot and scares the crap out of him. I love it. I freaking love it. She's terrible, man. She's evil. She's evil. I freaking love it. That smile. This is probably going to be the thumbnail right here. This will be the thumbnail. I'll put my face right here. That was funny. Here's the guy again, the weirdo. He's a weirdo, Chad. He's a weirdo. We're not out here judging nobody, but I'm telling you, he's got the baby blue eyes. Also, fun fact about the whole, you ever seen Germans with scars and stuff all over their face? It's because apparently in Germany at the time, they would do fencing without facial protection, without protection, so they would get scars all over their face, and scars on the face meant you were fearless. So that's why you saw a lot of the generals or a lot of the commanders have that. I learned that on some YouTube video. I don't remember, but that was an interesting fact. I'm like, really? That's why they always had scars. They looked menacing. Chad, I'm not trying to hype them up in any way, but their uniform was great and they looked scary.
How is she even in charge? No way everyone listens to a little girl. I gotta watch this later.
King Remedy, you never watched this? She's in charge for a lot of reasons. Because I think, I don't know how much influence God in this universe, in this anime had on this, on a lot of the stuff. However, she just kept getting crappier and crappier, responsibilities. But she always managed to, not always, but a lot of times managed to come out on top. I think always, if I'm being honest, always managed to come out on top. And the reason why she was given crappy responsibilities is because God wanted her to worship him and everything. And out of spite, purely out of spite, she's like, nah, screw you. I'm doing it my way. I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm going to survive. And she always came out on top, but just keeps getting worse for her. So now she's in charge, and she doesn't want to be in charge on the front lines doing all this nonsense. She wants to be way in the back from all the war, but no path she takes allows her to get there. So that's how she's in charge. That's how I remember her getting in charge. But there was this one scene where so you have to inform the people you're about to attack that you're going to attack, right? So over the intercom, she uses her little girl voice. She has a little girl voice, but she used a more cutesy voice, saying, "Hey guys, we're about to attack you, yada this, yada that." But no one took it seriously. They're like, whatever. And then she attacked them and killed them all. And I'm like, dang. Because technically she followed the rules of war. Man. But I saw something at the end of this episode that made me think about the future of this series. It may happen in this season, or they may be setting something up for the next season, if there's a next season, where
ain't no one in WW2 following any rules. Actual hell.
Yeah, there were some Geneva Convention rules are. I don't know when the Geneva Convention started, after World War One or World War Two, but all I know is that there's some rules of engagement. Like, you're not really allowed to shoot medics. That's illegal and immoral, but a lot of people did that. She had an epiphany, or she saw a possibility that says, hey, the team I'm fighting for could easily lose, and she could get in trouble even if she was just following orders. Because here's the thing, this main character understands history, right? A lot of main characters, they don't understand history, or they just forget history. I said, all right, well, back in the world that I came from, these things happened. So she was like, I'm pretty sure I won't be able to get my way out of any trouble if we lose this war by just saying I was following orders. And I'm like, yeah, that's very true. And the fact that you brought that up means you're a well-written character, not stupid. Because a lot of characters, they just do stupid stuff. They don't even think about how many times have you watched a movie, like an action hero movie or a superhero movie, and then they do stuff like, hey guys, have you not seen any like superhero movie? Cause this is like, superhero textbooks 101, or people just do stupid stuff. They really do. So she started trying to be nicer, stern but nicer. That's why you see this creepy phase. It's creepy because you know how she grins. All right, if you just saw this face, you never seen this face before, you're like, oh, just a happy-go-lucky girl. No, she's evil. She's got evil on the mind. She got murder in the brain. So this is where she was saying how, like, oh man, if we lose this war, I'm so in trouble. She's gonna get grounded, chat. She's gonna get grounded. And then the episode ends with an interesting photo that says peace is the greatest good. I don't know if she posted that. I feel like she posted that. I'm not sure who posted this around town, and I feel like the reason for this is because, hey, I may be a monster, but I want to fight for peace. And I think that's the angle she's going to go for if someone ever tried to throw her under the bus after the war. So she's setting things up. I think she's going to lose in the very end, but she still wins in the very end. Because when she finally, faces trial, she's like, hey, I wanted peace this entire time. I followed orders, sure, but every move that I'm known for being the peace one. I'm the peace. See, guys, I think that's what's going to happen. She's setting up for a possible failure, but I think that's a great foreshadowing, because I don't think a lot of characters really will give it that much thought. 10 out of 10 anime, chat. If I had to compare it to any other anime, it's better than Frieren in my opinion. It's better than Soul Leveling in my opinion. I would say it's kind of hard for me to say it's better than Frieren, because Frieren's a really good one, but this one is better than that Lord Iron's anime. I think it would be better than Demon Slayer. I do. You know what? I will say it's better than Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is a very good anime. Oh man, it made me teary-eyed a lot of the times. But I think it's more on par with Lord Iron's anime, with the one with the skeleton, because a lot of the main characters that you see from a lot of animes, they aren't evil. They're like naturally good, even if they are chaotic. But you see some anime, they're like, oh, they're a little bit of edgelord, or they do bad stuff where they still align with good. No, this girl is evil and hateful and spiteful, and I think this is one of the best anime that anybody should start watching. Give it a try, chat. Give it a try. And if this gets enough likes or views, I'm definitely going to be giving out gift cards so people can watch this. You just got to leave a sub, leave a like, and leave a comment. Giving out a bunch of free gift cards. Anyway, chat, let's go talk about something else.